Hoi, welcome to Woolly Whips. My name is Yvonne and this is gonna be my place where I'll share about my making. I'm mainly a knitter, but I also dabble in a bit of sewing and sometimes other crafts. It depends on my mood and what I feel like at that moment. And I just wanted a place where I could share a bit more about my makes. A bit like a diary, just something to just share it and to have a bit more of a community. So welcome to my first episode. It's always, I don't know, I'd never like first episodes. They are always a bit awkward because you're not used to this. So I've already recorded several first episodes over the past year, but this one is gonna make it out into the world. We're gonna commit and just try this thing. And if I don't like it after several episodes, I can always stop. What's the harm in it? I'm wearing my Moonset pullover by Ozetta, and I've knitted this in one of my favorite yarns ever. It's definitely my favorite yarn. It's Possum Merino 4-ply from the brand Brushtale. It's a New Zealand yarn and it's just so nice. It's a 4-ply, but it's woolen spun. I've knitted it at a DK weight gauge, but this yarn blooms so beautiful. So you can easily do this. So the thing why I like this fabric so much, or this yarn so much, is because it's very light, but it's very soft and it's still warm. So you don't have a heavy sweater, you have a very light sweater that keeps you warm. The only thing why I don't wear this one that much is because of the sleeves. They're quite like big armhole, I don't know how you say. But that makes it slightly unpractical for me sometimes. I feel like more people have that. But other than that, I really like it. I'm gonna try to wear it more because it's just so comfy. I love it. And I bought this when I was living in New Zealand. I now live in the Netherlands, but I'll be going back for a holiday in 6 weeks. So I'll definitely be buying more Possum Merino yarn because it's my favorite. And then we're just gonna, no FOs, of course, this time because it's the first one and I don't have anything that I finished very recently. So we're just gonna go into it. We're gonna go straight into whips and we're gonna go into my first one, which fits with the theme Octobervest because it's a vest. Here we go. That's the front. This is the back. This is the Vilma top. I think more people have it. They want to call it the Vilma vest, but it's a Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers. I've knitted it in Woollentwine Roots DK in the colorway Pine Tree. I'm knitting size 1. Oh, this is my knitting journal, by the way. So I've got everything on here. I'll show you some of my pages later on. But yeah, I've done one modification. I've lengthened the body because it looked a bit crop, and I've got some crop ones, but I actually wanted a slightly longer one because normally you have two of these pointel motifs at the body, but I basically did this extra, or one part extra. I think you only have one here and then 3 here. Other than that, haven't done any modifications, knitted S2 pattern. The only issue I have, I'm not sure if it's going to show up well. Where do you see? No, this is the old, new. See maybe there? I don't think you can see it on, you can see it a little bit, I think, on camera. But the two skeins differ a bit in color, but I have hope for it because Jules, I don't know. The owner of Woollentwine, the dyer, she said when she launched it that this yarn, because it's so saturated, there is still some residue left on the yarn. So when I knit with it, it gets like green on my finger and on my hands because of it. So I'm hoping that when I block it, that the residue would like go in the water and then spread out. So like the part that's slightly less green will become more green, and the part that's more green will become slightly less green, so it's more even. So that's what I'm hoping for, but I'm also playing a little bit of yarn chicken. This is what I have. And I need to do the front button bands. I've done the neckline. I need to do the front button bands and the armholes. But I'm first going to do the front button bands, and then if I don't have enough, I can just use a different yarn. I think this one here might work too, and otherwise I'll just go to the yarn shop and try to find something similar. The interesting thing is I was very interested in her Roots Decay because it's a woolen spun yarn as well, and I really like woolen spun because it's lighter, it has more air, it blooms beautifully, but I feel like this one blooms less than the Possum Merino. But still, it's a really nice yarn. I really like it. I just lost steam on it, so I'm hoping to find my motivation to finish this because it's not much work. I just need to sit down and like pick up the stitches, and then once I've picked it up, like the neckline, I knitted it in no time. I just need to sit down and pick up the stitches, which I don't feel like doing, but hopefully soon we will. And I'll have it finished soon because it's actually perfect weather for a vest. I really like them. I've got 3 vests and I wear them all the time right now. And I want to have it finished before I go to New Zealand, which is beginning of November. So yeah, that's my Vilma top vest. Then the second whip that I have is the Lenon sweater by Caidree, and I'm modifying it to make it stripy. Let me, my yarn ball, I put it in the sleeve when I knit one of them. That's the back. This is the front. I really like it. I was very unsure what to do with this yarn. I got this one from my sister. I think I got 2 or 3 skeins, but I wasn't sure what to do with it, and then I decided I wanted something stripy, so I bought the orange one to go with it, and I finally casted it on and I love it. I just wanted something quicker than my vest and socks, what I have on the needle, and I felt like something colorful and fun, so I did this one. I think it's quite a big gauge. I'm knitting it on 6mm needles. Ooh, almost my stitches going off. I'm further with the body than you think because it's all curled up. I'm doing 4 row stripes, and other than that I'm kind of following the pattern. I'm a bit off on row gauge, so I have less stitches for my sleeve, but I'm not doing the decreases. So I'm just knitting, basically I'm almost at the ribbing. I need to decide which color I want to do the ribbing. So if you have an opinion on that, just let me know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do a few more decreases in the round before the ribbing, and then I'll switch to ribbing. That's the modification that I've made, as well as the stripes. It's not a stripy sweater normally. I'm knitting it, I'll show you. Forgetting what the brand is of the yarn. I'm knitting it in West Yorkshire Spinners, the Croft Aran, and this is the colorway Browland, and this is the colorway Melby. And the cool thing is some of the speckles that are in this one are the orange of the Melby, so it actually works really nice together. And knitting the smallest size, the extra small. I almost always knit the smallest size. I've got a small bust like 78 centimeters. So most of the time I knit the smaller size. A few designers have added an even smaller size to the pattern now. And then depending on the ease, I will knit the smallest or the second size in general. But I'm really enjoying that. Although the sleeves were taking a bit longer than I was hoping for. I was in a good mood when I did the body and the yoke, and then I switched to the sleeve and it was taking longer than I hoped for. But maybe also because I don't have that much knitting time because of work. Other than that, I'm happy with it. I want to have it like all the things I'm showing you today. Not all the things. These two I want to have finished before I go to New Zealand. And I'll probably do an episode on what I'm planning on knitting in New Zealand. Because I've got plans. What is my next thing that I want to talk? Yeah, I think about a sweater that I also want to have finished before I leave. But a lot of ends because I'm basically designing this sweater myself and it's for my brother. I gifted it to him for his birthday last year but said I will knit it for you the coming year. His birthday is coming up at the end of October. Do I have much of the sweater yet? Nope. Have I done the calculations for the sweater? Yes. Did I cast on? Yes. I'll show you what I cast on. Might make you laugh. Because this is quite big. Yes, my brother is bigger than me, but not his neck. I don't think anyone's neck is this big. Basically, I've cast on with the wrong needle size because I didn't write down the needle size. So I just guessed what I thought it would be. I did the short rows. It's going to be a compound raglan and with a color block with a colorwork motif. But yeah, I was very happy with it when I finally got started, and then I realized, I was like, this can't be right, this is way too big. And then I checked my gauge and it is too big. I think the calculations I did was for like 21 stitches to 10 centimeters. Let me look it up. Yeah, 21 stitches per 10 centimeters. My gauge right now is 18. So it's 3 stitches off. That is quite a big difference. But I'll show you my swatch, which I think, so I'm knitting this right now on a 4.5, but my swatch I did on a 4, I realized. That wasn't the plan. But yeah, write down your needle size when you're doing a massive swatch. I did a giant swatch. It's kind of like a sleeve with ribbing on either side. Because I couldn't decide on the color work. So it's gonna be, so the top part, so the way it's gonna be is color block. So I'll have the beige color, I'll have that at the top, and then just after splitting for the or joining in the round after the armholes, I'll do a colorwork motif, and then on the arms I'll do the starting color, the beige, until like, I don't know, somewhere midway the bottom part of your arm to your forearm, and then I'll do the colorwork motif and end with the green, and at the body I will do all in green after motif. And I couldn't decide on a motif, so I had 3 options. So this is the first one. It's just a 1x1, which is not gonna be it. Then I had this one, which I really liked. I asked my mum and my sisters-in-law what they liked, and my little niece as well. So this was my other option. And then we've got this one. Oh, I actually like this one on camera. Sometimes I don't know, but on camera I really like it. This was the favorite of my mum's and my sister-in-law's and my little niece. Then we have this one, and then we had this one, which is basically the one of the motif of the key sweater by Petite Knit. I thought that is quite cool for a men's design. My younger brother, it's for my oldest brother I'm knitting it, but my younger brother liked this one or like the rest. This one, so I think I'm going for this one. I think my brother will like that. It's a compound raglan, like I said, and I just need to, the thing why I've stalled on it now, I cast this on like last weekend and I was very motivated to get started until I found out about my gauge. And then this week I couldn't decide whether I want to continue with this gauge because I do really like the gauge. It's a bit more open than my swatch, which works really well. Let me talk about the yarns. Because the gauge, I have a conundrum because of my gauge and because I'm using two different yarns. So, fluff in my face. I'm using this one. It says Peer Gynt in the colorway Beige Tweed. I think it's colorway 2730. I really like it. I was surprised. I first thought, not sure, my brother picked it. But I really like it. And I like the green a lot as well. That is the cone that's here. It's Woolyknit British 4-ply that I'm holding double in the colorway apple green. They didn't have to DK in the apple green, so I went for the 4-ply, but it's quite a thin 4-ply. It does bloom a bit, but I feel like the Peer Gynt was a bit dense on the 4mm needles, whereas this one was perfect on the 4mm. So I'm worried that this one will be too open on the 4.5. But I think I'm going for the 4.5, and I've made an Excel sheet for all my calculations that I've done, because I've done all the calculations already. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just do the calculations for the 18 stitch gauge, and then if I don't like it with this green, I might need to buy Peer Gynt in a green, but the Peer Gynt doesn't have a green that I really like for my brother, and I really like this combo. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna make it work, and I want to do the bigger gauge as well because it will knit a bit faster, because I wanted to have it done for his birthday, but that's not gonna happen because it's in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. In my head, I was leaving for New Zealand in 6 weeks. So that means I'm leaving for New Zealand in like 4 weeks. Time's flying. Good thing, but also we gotta do some knitting. So yeah, that's the sweater that I'm designing myself for my brother. I think it's gonna be really nice and I'm excited for it. And today I'm gonna recast on and get started and spend a good amount of time on this one. Yeah, I really like the color together. I think it's really fun. But yeah, write down your needle size. That helps. Then my next one is, oh yes, this is fun. Those are basically my bigger projects that I have on the go right now. And then I have a whole bunch of socks. It's Socktober. I started doing Socktober because of the yarn shop that I used to go to knit night to in New Zealand, in Auckland. It's called Lupine Wool. It's, if you're in New Zealand, go to that yarn shop. The rest of Auckland is not interesting. I live there. It's a good city to live. It's not a, you don't go to New Zealand for the cities. You go for the nature. But if you find yourself in New Zealand and you have a little bit of time in Auckland, go to Lupine Wool because they have a beautiful collection of yarn from indie dyers from New Zealand, but also Possum Merino. Yeah, they just have a good mix, also different price classes, and they're just very nice. I used to love it there. So they got me into Socktober. And I'm still doing Socktober, even though I've moved back to the Netherlands 2.5 years ago. Eventually I move back to New Zealand again, but right now I'm in the Netherlands. But yeah, I'm doing a year of socks, which is not Socktober, of course. I'm doing a year of socks, and right now it's October, so I'll show you my Socktober socks first because they are my active sock whip, and I love it. This is honestly the favorite sock that I've knitted so far. It's so pretty. I absolutely adore this. I'm so happy that I've casted this on. I have been struggling with making decisions. I always say to my boyfriend that I have a decision jar in my brain and that it gets empty. He doesn't have that. I don't understand. How can you make unlimited decisions? I can't. There is a limit to the amount of decisions I can make. And my jar has been very empty for quite a while. It's getting topped back up. But what I've been doing, because I've been just knitting vanilla socks this year, mainly, because I'm like, I need to cast something on because I want to do this year of socks, but I can't decide what I want to cast on. And you see this, I've been seeing this on Instagram all the time, people doing the spinning wheels to decide things for them. So I have made a selection of the patterns that I have. I have several sock knitting books and patterns in my library on Ravelry, and I just chose my favorite ones. I think I came down to like 40 socks patterns that I want to knit that I already own. And so for October I spun it and I got the Springfling socks by Saskie&co. Saskie&co. Formerly known as the Petite Knitter. But I love this one. It's so me. I love flowers. And it's so fun to knit. And I think this is gonna be my first colorwork socks that fit me. I really hope. I tried it on my foot. It fits. I just need to try it over my ankle, but I think it's gonna fit. I'm knitting the size 7, but I did a cuff for size 6, and then I've just done one round of increases to size 7, and I've gone also, she doesn't specify, I think she just knits the wool socks on 2.25 millimeters, but I've gone up to a 2.5 millimeter needle for the color work, and I'm doing it on a, don't know if it's a 9-inch, but what I've done is I've got a shorty set of Chowgu, and I've got one of the shorty set comes with 2 sizes of the needles, and I normally knit always with the like longer one, but for this one I've got the shortest cable, and then I've got one short needle and one long needle, and this one I'm holding on my left and this one on my right, and that seems to work well. I can't knit too long on it. Most of the time I do a repeat, or half a repeat, basically one flower, and then I'll work on something else. But I really love it. I'm knitting it in Rosa Pomar Mondim in these 2 colors. This is just I don't know if it's undyed, but it's just a white. It's colorway 100. And let me look up the colorway for this one because it just numbers. 579. It's I don't know. It's a bright mossy green in my opinion. And yeah, I really love this one. I definitely want to have this one finished for Socktober, and I've casted it on the 1st of October, so they're my October socks, and I'm calling them Spring in, or I should call it Spring in Socktober. I've written down Spring in October socks, but I think it should be Spring in Socktober. So that is my first pair, my October. And then I've got a bunch of unfinished pairs for July, August, and September. Yes. Because, I don't know. I think I'll do a different next year. I like that I'm knitting more socks, and I use them mainly as my commute knitting projects or on the go project. But 12 pairs is a lot to knit a pair every week, because sometimes I just feel like doing something else. Sometimes I have a lot of commuting time, sometimes I don't. But let's start with my July socks. I was gonna draft these myself because I saw a chart on Pinterest that I really liked. So I was like, I'll just come up with the pattern myself. Let me see. Here we go. This is it. But they're way too small. So you see, like, let me put my color work behind it. Yeah, you see big difference here. So I need to start. I need to start these over, and I'm not sure about the little purple rolled edge at the top. But yeah, I just haven't felt. I was loving them, and then I was like, too small. And then it was the end of July, and I didn't cast something new. I think it wasn't even the end of July. I casted them on the end of July, so it was somewhere in August, and then I gave up. I might get back to them when I'm traveling in New Zealand, because I'm planning on bringing several socks for New Zealand trip. I was knitting it in Long Yarns Yawool. It's a mess. And the colorways Fleeter in 246, and this is the 94 off-white July socks. Definitely not an active whip. Then we've got my August socks, and this is when I started doing my spinning wheel to decide which pattern to cast on. And I finished one sock. See if you can see the pattern a bit. This is the La Colque socks by Lotta H. Lufgren. It's in the Lane knitting book, 52 Weeks of Socks. Don't know if it's volume 1 or volume 2, because I have both. I'm gonna guess volume 1. I'll put it down in the description box. But yeah, that's the La Colque socks, and I'm knitting it in Woolberry Fiber Co. in the colorway Shakespeare and Company. So last year I ordered a few of the Sock Society boxes, and this is one of the Sock Society boxes. So it's called Shakespeare and Company, and I'm holding a leftover scrap bit with it. I think this is from one of my favorite indie dyes from New Zealand. I think it's from Mrs. Peacock Yarns in the colorway Smoke. I don't think it's a sock yarn. I think I've used it for a sweater. Could be Serpentine, the base. Maybe, I don't know, but I have somewhere in my work bag is the other little skein that I have. But I finished one sock, and now it's not on my needles. Because it was the end of September when I finished the first one, and I had to cast on my September socks. And I'm not doing that I have to finish a pair of socks every month. I'm doing just that you have to cast on. I need a sip of tea. Little fun fact about me, I collect mugs when I'm traveling. So this mug I got last year in July when we went to Portugal with my whole family on a trip, and we had to stop. I always try to find local potteries, so I made my family stop at a local pottery. We were in Portugal for the wedding of my cousin. So this is my Portugal mug. It's one of my favorite. I like the shape. I like the glazing. It's just a comfy size. That's a little random fact. What I was gonna, so those were my August socks. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, where are my September socks? I've done this on the 30th of September. I've casted these on, and then on the 1st of October I've casted on my Springflings. So they haven't gotten a lot of attention, but I mainly casted them on because I knew I was gonna knit these socks this year anyway, because it's a gift knit. My yarn is tangled around my needle. It's a gift knit, so I basically decided to just cast it on. And we've got a little toe. It's a new pattern as well, so it's called the Black Cat Favorite Socks, and it's from the owner of the yarn shop that I used to go to. So she's called Aran, and her knitting design company is called Black Cat Knitting Co. And she released a pattern for her favorite socks. They toe up, and I thought, why not try them? Let's do a different kind of heel construction. Don't ask me what the heel construction is yet. I know it's not a heel flapping gusset, it's something else, but I thought to just give it a go. And my sister, and why I'm knitting these are for my sister. She's requested that she wants a pair of socks for Christmas, and I still owed her a pair of socks because last year in October she ran the Snowdonia. She lives in Wales. She ran the Snowdonia marathon, and I went along with her, not running, I just went to cheer for her, and we made a little trip out of it together. So we stayed in Snowdonia for a few days, did some hikes, and she did the running, and she went to a yarn shop with me, and I let her choose some sock yarns. So she chose this one. It's Garfanor Snowdonia sock, and this is the colorway Idris, and it's just a malt gray. And I got the same yarn for myself. I got it in a green and in this white, which is the colorway Glassland. And I figured to do the toe and the cuff in this color, and then the rest of the sock in this one. But I'm gonna mainly be knitting these in New Zealand, but I just wanted to cast them on, so I have a September sock. I was doubting whether I should continue with my year of socks, but then I was like, you're gonna knit these anyway, and you'll probably be knitting more socks in New Zealand when you're traveling. So just cast them on. That's all I had to do. So that's what I did. And if I need some easy stockinette, I can do that because I've been past the toe. Those are my socks. That's all my knitting. But I'm also today I'm working on a sewing project, which is the Ikatana, or the brand is called Ikatana. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. We're just winging it here. Oh no, Ikati, not Ikatana. It's Ikati, and that's the pattern. The pattern is called Ika Banana because it's a fanny pack, just a crossbody bag. I've wanted one of these mainly because sometimes I go for walks, especially in summer. It's now autumn, so it's probably not going to happen in the winter when I'm back, but maybe it is on sunny days. But I like to knit some socks, and I don't have a nice bag that I can where I can put my yarn in and then knit from. So I wanted a bag, and I want to bring it with me to New Zealand as well. Although I probably wear a day pack for New Zealand. But anyway, I just wanted to sew this bag. That's the main thing. And I'll just show you a little bit what I've got. It said it's a quick project, but I'm not a good sewist. I'm very much a beginner. But we're just working on it. So you have all different kinds of versions that you can do. I'm doing that one with a back pocket. So I'm just going to show you my back pocket. This is my outer fabric. It's a corduroy with a print. Don't ask me anything else, because I don't know. I bought it in France, I think, on a holiday. And then the inside, you can see it here, this is the inside, I think the back inside. So this should go like this, and then we've got that. I need to add the sides to this. But just to show you the inside, it's a boiled wool that I got at a shop in New Zealand, and then it has like an inside pocket, and it has a zip at the front. So that's what I'm making. Oh yeah, and this is the color of the shoulder strap, and also the color of the zips. And I'm doing all the, you can see that here, I'm doing the zipper and all the other haberdashery in gold. First time doing a zip. I think it went okay. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it functional? Yes, so far it is. So hopefully the rest will go well too. I'm just taking it slow because I tend to like go into a hyper focus, and then I get frustrated when something doesn't work. So I just do a little step by little step. So that's my sewing. Ugh. And then I've got one more thing, which I don't know what this craft is called, but basically I'm making a woolly lamp. Yes, a woolly lamp. Let me grab it. I didn't put it in a logical position, but that's okay. This one is for my grandmother. I've done a workshop with my mum and my sister-in-laws, because I like the idea of making this, and I've talked with one of my sisters-in-law about it. We saw it online. I was like, oh, this can't be too hard to make, like any crafter does. And then I saw a workshop for it, which wasn't too expensive. So that's what we did with the three of us. And I made one during the workshop. I've made one just at home, and this is my second one at home that I'm making. It looks almost finished. It is almost finished. Just need the back. Just haven't been motivated to finish it, but I will. And I'm using mainly cotton for it. I'll show you. My grandmother loves orange, so I needed orange. Because I had a very specific orange in mind, I couldn't find it and find other colors that I liked to go with it. This is the orange that I wanted, which is, I've got the yarn bands in here. Land Loosed Alpaca Merino 160. It's from La Grossa. It's 50% merino and 50% baby alpaca. It's really soft. Kind of said that that's on the lamp, but I just wanted the color. I just needed this color. And then this is just cotton, and it's from Durable, and it's their double 4. And what colors are they? 3 colors of blue and then light orange. I bet you, wait, let me grab all the labels. But it's really easy to do, honestly, to make these kind of lamps. This is color 279, and it's called Pearl. Then we've got 321 Navy. Then we've got 2208 Sand, and then we've got 289 Blue Gray. I don't know what the colorway Pearl will be. Would this be Pearl? This is Navy. Then we have Blue Gray. Blue Gray must be this. And then this is the colorway, the other one, Sand. This must be Sand. So yeah, I've bought way too much, so I can make like another 3 lamps with this, but they're not my colors. So anyone in the Netherlands who want to make lamps and wants to use this yarn, let me know. I've got left, because I even got one more of the Sand. I thought it would use at least one skein, but it doesn't. Yeah, I just need to finish it. It's really fun to do. You just wrap it around. You go like over, and then you go back here and go around and go inside. You make like little knots. When you switch colors, I need a fitting for it, and finish the back. Probably will take like 2 hours or so, but distractions. I just need to plan to go to my grandmother and then I'll finish it. That is all I have for today. I hope you liked it. I hope it wasn't too awkward of a first episode. Oh, got a fluff on my nose. Yeah, I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you soon. I hope to do one again in like 2 weeks. And let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what you're knitting. Let me know which color ribbing I should do for my Lenon sweater, although I'll probably decide on that today. But you know, maybe not. We'll see. I need to work on that sweater for my brother first. And I don't know how to end this thing, but I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again for the next episodes. Bye!